My son's birthday is coming up, and he needs video games. But I'm not going to buy them. You are!
r/EntitledParents.
Yes!
Our first story we'll be reading today.
I don't have enough money, but since my son's birthday is in 5 months, you should buy him a gift.
From user JD Phoenix. After that, entitled mother demands I spend Christmas with her after 20 years of not knowing me. From user Clethale. After that, entitled friend steals my Animal Jam account, then wants to be my friend. Gets ruined and shamed on YouTube. From user Angel. And then we'll be wrapping up with The Awful Mother of Lady Zay. From user Lapine Loyal. Thank you so much to our authors for letting us read your stories. And if you're an author who would like me to read your stories next, please submit them to the r/Mr. Reddit subreddit. And if you're new, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss a thing.
I don't have enough money, but since my son's birthday is in 5 months, you should buy him a gift.
Before I begin, this happened a week ago. I just didn't have enough motivation to write this until now. Cast. We've got my dad. We've got entitled coworker. We've got coworker and dad's boss. This isn't my story. This is my dad's. He doesn't use Reddit, so I figured I'd post it for him. My dad recently got a job at a huge radio company. His boss there is a family friend who also worked at my dad's old job. He instantly got my dad into a good rank, 5th from CEO. He works in a cubicle in the city, so he rides a train to and from it. Now that the context is over, let's begin. So about a week ago, it was payday. Everyone got their money and we were about to go home. A fellow coworker of my dad, entitled coworker, probably a Karen, had this conversation with another coworker.
It's my son's birthday in a couple of months. I better prepare. He wants a couple of games for his birthday.
What kind of games?
He wants this game called Fortnite, which seems like a cartoony Hunger Games.
I presume this kid showed the mom the trailers and explained it, but I know the Battle Royale version is free, so the kid is probably scamming the mom into getting a V-Buck package, mainly because parents can't seem to understand video games for some reason. The rest of the games my dad doesn't remember. The entitled coworker explains how she is running low on money, so she needs help paying for the gifts. I found this funny because my dad explained that she comes into work with her $1,000 purse and latest iPhone, 5 gallons of makeup, and done nails and hair. We could already tell she had bad spending habits. Entitled coworker then turns to my dad.
Hey, OP's dad, do you mind paying for my son's gifts?
My dad barely knows her, so this came as a surprise. I'm sorry, but I barely know you or your child, and this is money I need for my own family. The entitled coworker listed probably 10 to 15 games that this probably entitled kid wanted to get.
Oh, come on. You know me,
she said in a fake, friendly voice.
Besides, my kid got above an 80 on his finals, so I want to reward him for his hard work.
I'm sorry. Like I said, I don't feel like I'm acquainted enough to be handing you money. Besides, if you can't afford the gifts yourself, how would you pay me back?
Pay you back? But my kid deserves the gifts. I don't owe you anything.
At this point, my dad regretted meeting her at all. For the last time, no.
Why are you so mean? I'm a single mom who can barely pay her bills.
This was a lie. The entitled coworker actually had a husband.
I struggle all the time just to keep the lights on. Do you really think I'm going to tolerate this answer?
My dad felt it would be fine to get a little rude to counter her rudeness. Well, if you can pay for a console, games, a TV, expensive clothing, an expensive handbag, premium makeup, and a child, then I think you are more than capable to afford a couple of games for your bratty son. Entitled coworker started to play the victim and shame my father.
This isn't fair. I am not paid enough for this crap. All you men and your high paychecks ruining my life.
She ranked really low in the workplace, so her pay wasn't even high to begin with. But I've heard she barely shows effort in the workplace, steals coworkers' lunches and drinks from the fridge, etc.
Hand over the cash, or I'll tell the boss.
Like I said before, my dad knows his boss really well, and he doubted that this low-effort, close to being fired lady would be credible enough to get my dad in trouble. My dad repeats his answer. I said no. Go ahead and call the boss. She, unsurprisingly, calls him down. She shoves her paycheck into my dad's hands. Enter boss. What seems to be the issue? Entitled coworker starts talking in an attacked way and screams.
OP's dad stole my paycheck when I wasn't looking. Fire this jerk.
Boss looks up at my dad, and they both look utterly confused. Boss and dad had a little chat using facial expressions, instantly agreeing this lady was crazy, while the entitled coworker screams, Why don't we check the security camera to find the true culprit? Yes, my dad's boss acted very casual about the situation, almost jokingly. They all meet up at the security room, and they roll the tape. The entitled coworker is clearly shown shoving the paycheck into my dad's hands. The boss turns at the entitled coworker with a grin. You're fired. Her face turns blood red. She gets really mad, talks about how she didn't deserve this for doing just one thing wrong, completely forgetting about her build-up over her time working there. The low effort, stolen lunches, bad coworker connections. The entitled coworker tries her hardest to form an alibi, but failed miserably. She refused many times to leave, but is then taken away by security. To this day, my dad has never seen this lady again, thankfully. Hopefully, this kid never received their gift, mainly because they asked for a legit 15 games, all priced $30 to $60. I'm really glad my dad's boss knew my dad, but to be honest, she would have lost either way. Next we've got, entitled mother demands I spend Christmas with her after 20 years of not knowing me. Hey Mr. Reddit and the Re-Army. Love the videos. Keep up the awesome work. Disclaimer. First-time poster, long-time listener, on mobile, English first language, names changed, etc. Backstory. I was adopted by wonderful parents at birth. They have provided for me everything I could ever need. A good education, international travel, support when needed, and much more. Story. When I was 20 years old, I met my birth mother, her current husband, a pushover, so isn't featured in this. And I found out I had a younger and an older half-brother. We'll call them John and Terry for this story. All of us have different fathers, also not featured much or at all. The year was 2004, and it was mid-February from what I remember, and I was excited in meeting them for the first time. They were bussing in from out of town at about 8 in the evening. I didn't get much sleep, so was quite exhausted at this stage. We ended up talking all night at the bus station. Found out that I had to be given up for adoption because birth mother's parents didn't want another baby in the house. She had been living with them at the time. Also found out that I was an accident. Thought it was weird that she had said this, but paid it no attention. Also found out that John and I had a lot in common, like a love for Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, and a lot of other things. We decided that it was getting a little chilly and was check-in time for where they were staying for the weekend. I ended up dropping them off and went out for a bit to process the night. While I was out, I had a couple of text messages from birth mom asking when I'd be back. Let her know that I had something to do, then would be back afterwards. Got everything done and head back for about an hour or so. Had to excuse myself as I needed to head out of town for the night. A friend had bought me a ticket for my birthday to an all-night party. I couldn't really turn this down. Really glad he did the driving. We're at 30 hours running on no sleep at this stage. On the drive, constant text messages from birth mom asking and stating,
When will you be back? Why do you have to go away? We came all this way for you.
And so many more along those lines. I ignored them and had a wonderful time. On our way back, I managed an hour of sleep. Best hour sleep I have ever had. I checked my phone again and more text messages, so I responded saying we're an hour away. She said,
"Come see us as soon as you get back."
I told her that I have things that need to be done before I can and will be around at about 4 p.m. again. She again stated,
"But we came so far to see you."
after all this time, hardly any sleep, the rose-tinted glasses, and me being a pushover at this time of my life, I really didn't see the entitlement here, so I just went with the flow. Went around at about 4, and birth mom said that they had canceled their return bus tickets, that I was to drive them all home, that I could stay with them for a few days. It was cool, I thought. I'd get to spend more time with them. So I went home and packed for a few days away. We left that night. I have no idea how we survived that 8-hour drive, as we're nearing on 65 hours with minimal sleep by the end of the trip. A lot of energy drinks, I think. Once we arrived, I said I needed to sleep, otherwise I will not be awake enough to appreciate being there. She wanted to show off her home. Okay then. Stay awake for another 2 hours before I fall asleep while she's mid-story. Thankfully, they all realized that I was exhausted now and woke me to move me to a bed. It was about midday when I woke, still real groggy, when I started getting told that I should spend Christmas with them. That's 10 months away, I thought, and I said I'd think about it. They didn't bring that up any further. I'd chauffeur them around to where they needed to be during the visit and was generally manipulated into doing things for them. Hindsight is great, huh? So after a few days there, I head home. Nothing more interesting until September, when I had more messages, except that I had gone back to study at university and gotten a full-time job as well.
"What are you doing for Christmas?"
Not sure at this stage. I may be working. Roster isn't out yet, so I will be able to tell you closer to the time.
"That's not good enough. You will have that day off. It's a public holiday."
I might be working. I don't know yet. Please don't try and pressure me into committing to something, as I may end up having to disappoint you.
"You get that day off. You will spend Christmas with us. No arguments."
Really? You want to play it like this? Don't push this, otherwise I'll cut all ties with you. You haven't been in my life for 20 years. What's the rest of my life without you?
"Don't speak to me that way. I am your mother."
No, you aren't. I have 2 wonderful parents that love me and really care for me. You just want another person to push around. I'm done with you. Please don't contact me again. I want nothing more to do with you. I never did hear from her again. I went on to complete my studies, get a great job, and have amazing people in my life. Fast forward to 2012, and I get a message from John on Facebook saying that birth mom had passed away. John and I still keep in contact to this day. I've lost contact with Terry. Mr. Reddit, you have full permission to read should this be up to standard. Thanks for letting me get this out after 15 years. Next we've got Entitled Friend Steals My Animal Jam account, then wants to be my friend, gets ruined and shamed on YouTube. So, hi. First of all, this happened a while ago, about a month. Also, I am bad at writing stories. I fail at English. I'm 15 by the way, so you can understand my reason for bad writing skills. On laptop, not mobile. So, everyone in this story, by their game username, not their real names. We've got Entitled Friend, we've got my other friend, and we've got the hacker, and me. So, backstory. I've been playing Animal Jam for years, and recently at that time, started to live stream. That's how I got lots of hard-to-get items. Then I met Lyric, game username, also our backstabbing entitled friend. We got along well. Then I met my other friend. We became BFFs right away. But then one day, I went on Google Hangouts. They sent a link for cool fan art, but I had to log into it with my Google account, Gmail. Stupid me did. Nothing happened. I saw these other emails. Me being dumb, didn't really think of why they were there. Until it happened. I was asked by Entitled Friend to go live on my YouTube channel, so I stupidly did. A bit into it, a guy named Auth0 started saying this. "You've been added to the spam cult." What? Who are you?
Say bye-bye to your account.
Next thing I know, I get logged off the game. Well, I start fighting, logging back in, and they log me off. I stopped once it said, "That password is incorrect." I tried to reset my password after ending the stream, but it said, "That email you've entered does not match our records." I'm like, what? So I went back to my Gmail. By the way, it's my mom's email, but I use it for games and have access to it. And there was an email from the game makers. "Thanks for playing. We want you to know that your game account is now under blah blah at blah.com. Fake email. I was furious. I went to Entitled Friend and she said this. "Angel, we'll give you your account back if you give us a friend's password. 40 rims, rare item, Monday's game item, or a spike collar to be a princess."
What do you mean, princess?
And switch my account back over. You can't steal it. Also, give the email back. They locked me out of my mom's email until I reset the password.
"We are a mean group, and I am the queen. You give me items, and in return, we won't touch your account and game items. So join or leave us alone."
Note, they messaged me.
What? No! You stole my account and items, then want me to join you to do this to other people I don't even know? That's a big fat no.
Fine, remove her from the group.
My friend, LA, said she was sorry and did. I went to my mom and she got mad, but I wanted revenge. I went to the Hangouts chat and sent this, and then I got my password back instantly. Well, to what they changed it to, not the email though. I am glad to say, if you do not return my account, items, password, and email back, I will be notifying the police and will have you all arrested for what you've done to me. Also, please note, because Entitled Friend, you claim to be 17, they'll charge you as an adult. Also, just so you know, you stole my mom's email and an Animal Jam account I spent over $200 on, so we can go to small claims court. Your choice. Bye. She freaked out. I just laughed. I was just beginning my revenge act. Next, ruin her YouTube life. She did videos, almost 20 a day, so I knew I could get her. This was also how I used my YouTube channel to ruin her. On her live streams, I spammed all of them by saying, "Beware, she is in an insane group, and if you stay on her stream and you have an Animal Jam video channel, leave and unsubscribe now, and don't fall for her lie."
I haven't done that to anybody in 2 years.
She did it to me. Look at my live stream. I gave a link. She ended each stream, then deleted her channel. Gave my account back and 2 other accounts I assume she stole. But I found the rightful owner and gave the one back and used the other one to ruin her. Acted like a fan, then rubbed it in her face that she was such a liar. And she did do this. Check out Angel's channel. I then went on her game account and sold all the items, then used it in a video saying this is what happens when you mess with someone who knows how to mess you up big time. This went on for a month. To be honest, this gets me upset just writing this. They asked to be friends again. Ignored now. Thanks for reading. Hope this gets put on a video. Please let me know if it does. Bye. And our final story of the day. The awful mother of Lady A. Hello. I have no idea where such a story would go, but I figured I could share it here, especially since Mr. Reddit already read one of my stories, and I've had people wonder about more from my mother. So, your quick but extremely relevant backstory. My family consists, technically, of 5 people. My father, Nerd Pants, Mick Dungeons & Dragons fanboy. My mother, narcissist psychopath. My older brother, a military vet with 2 cutie pies, and the star of my life, son of my sky, my little brother. We'll call him Little Wolf. My real, biological parents are divorced. This happened when I was around 16 years old. I guess my dad reconnected with an old flame and couldn't stand my mom's abuse anymore. Honestly, that whole shebang was just a mess of he said, she said, of my mother trying to put us against each other, emotional abuse, and teenage angst. To try and salvage their relationship, they had a baby. 1 year later, they were divorced. Dad left, moved 2 hours away, and we maybe saw him once a month. It was tough. I'd never, and probably will never, get along with my mom. My dad was the only one who would listen to me when I talked, who actually asked me why I did something wrong instead of slapping me full force across the face, who understood. Some people laugh when they're nervous. Stop slapping her for smiling when you're screaming at her, and so on. It hurt. I was a heartbroken teenage girl. To my surprise, my mom actually got a job. She began working at a retirement home for nuns, and I thought, oh, this might be good. She can actually get off her lazy butt and do something with her life, as she had been previously living off my dad's meager trucking paychecks and any money she could get off of me. It was not good. Every day, immediately after school, and until my bedtime, I was made to watch My Little Wolf. Every day. A baby takes a lot of patience and attention, and did I mention Miss Narcissist is also a ridiculous neat freak? She would hurt me frequently, but these weren't the worst part. The worst part, I starved. My mother ate dinner with the nuns. She was eating chef-cooked meals every day, and instead of purchasing food for her children with the money she earned at work, she'd get her nails done every week, or go out to fancy dinners, or buy herself new clothes.
There's food. Just make something.
No, Mom. There's a packet of flour, a container of rice, and a few cans of tomato sauce. That's not food. And up until just now, you'd been making us dinner. I have no idea how to cook. But remember how I said Little Wolf is the light of my life? I may have been unhappy. Sometimes I may have even done things I regret. But I never, ever let that kid go without food. If there was anything at all to eat, he ate it. If there wasn't, I stole it. I went 2 entire years subsisting on scraps, making sure that if nothing at all, that he was going to eat and grow up healthy. I finally snapped one day, or maybe she did. Every single day, my life was school, watch the little one, sleep. My grades, which had always been the highest, were dropping horribly between my literally dying body and inability to do any of my homework with all the housework I had to do. Mom came home one day, and the couch cushions were crooked. Yeah, Wolf and I were playing. I literally just came down the stairs from putting him to bed. There were insults. There was arguing. Because of the pillows? No, because I was speaking to her in English. She yelled at me in French. I don't know how we wound up like that, but she slammed me into the wall, digging her sharp manicured nails into my arm like she always did. I pulled up my big girl pants. I threw my phone at her. It broke into pieces. I told her I was sick of her and the way she treated me. I told her that a person speaking the language they're most comfortable in, or pillows on a couch in a house with children being crooked, wasn't a reason to slam your kid into a wall. I told her how tired I was of existing solely to take care of her child, how much I hated her, hated the French language, and most of all, how much I missed being able to do things a normal kid could do. Seeing their friends, going for walks. Heck, I even missed doing my dang homework. I'm sure there was more, but I guess that whole incident was so traumatic in my mind that I can't remember all of it, just bits and pieces. The moment my exams were done, I moved in with my father. Food situation wasn't much better, with my mom also bleeding my dad dry for child support, but at least I knew he was trying. At least I knew he cared. Nowadays, Little Wolf lives here with me and my dad, and the amazing woman to whom he's engaged, and her children, and our cats, and our dog. We're a big, happy family. I guess, even though things were tough, we've managed to work it out in the end. I can say that maybe I'm a better person because of all that. Because, Mom, I am nothing like you. You've made me do some horrible things to survive. You've made me question why I even struggle to exist. But then I look at Little Wolf and remember, he's the only good thing you ever did. I won't let anyone hurt him like you have. Whoops, that got rambly. Enjoy. Does living a good, loving life out of spite count as revenge? I think it does. And congrats to our Regenerals of the day. Jacob, Maury Kessler, Jax, Santa, and Dragonblader. You know what to do. Become our next Read Generals by dropping as many reads as you can in the comments below. That's all for now, but don't be blue. I'll be back soon with more stories for you. Remember to listen to Mr. Reddit every night so your dreams will be wonderful like you are and bright.